At this stage now our drop-downs got nice unique values in them, unique subjects, unique grades. So if I add new values, there will be no duplicates in the drop-downs. The thing that's not currently working is filtering. So currently there's actually event listener, but it's not really doing much. So what we need to do now is we need to add filtering, and in this case we want to add filtering based on for the new values that's been added dynamically as well. So what I've done in this case, I have added an event listener onto the filter element. So what I basically have, the filter element is the element where the drop downs will be attached to. So looking at this, so filters here, you see in my DOM is empty. So you see it's class filters here. So if we go to organizer.js, you will see that I have filters somewhere, filters here, query selector.filters here, control C you can find, so you'll find that down here. So down here we're actually adding the new drop downs using handlebars, and then later on down here I'm actually adding an event listener, okay, and I'm checking here what is the target. So in this case I don't want anything to happen when I click on the drop downs itself. I just want something to happen when I'm clicking on the filter button. My filter button is also part of my template, so the filter button gets re-rendered all the time. So I'm using event bubbling on the filter div element to basically my click events filter up, and then what I'm doing here, I'm getting all the values, well in this case not even the values, I'm just getting the filter element. So what we can do here is I can remove this filter thing here. So what I can actually do, I'll show you that this code here, so if I do teacher filter.value, then I will actually get the value of the teacher that's been selected on the screen. So if I do this, if I refresh this now, if I click here, click on Andre, you will see I should get a drop down coming up, but let me just see, something's wrong here, some other error. Okay, property of value, cannot read property value of null. So it seems that teacher filter query selector, okay, so the value is actually null. Let me just see if I have the actual element, query selector teacher filter, control R, running this, running, so I'm selecting the value there, clicking on it. Okay, so it's not even, it doesn't even have the elements. So let's see, query selected teacher filter. So this code here seems to be wrong. So what are these things called in my template? So let me see my template here, control find, control V, teacher filter, I have a class name here. Okay, but look at this, I've got two class names here, teacher filter. So do I have that for all of them? Yes, I've got some bugs here, so I just need one class name in here, otherwise it's causing trouble. Let's see now if I refresh if it's better. So running this. Okay, so what I want now, if I run this, I'm gonna go here for teacher, I'm select Andre, click on that. Okay, so now it does have the element, so that's better. So now I can actually ask the element, what's your value? So let me just see what I have here. So now if I go down to my drop down, so now I can actually say teacher filter dot value. Okay, so now I'm running this, I'm actually checking this out, and I click on this Andre and I run filter. Okay, you see, so now I can actually get the value that's been entered in my drop down. So if I go here and I add Bob Crow in there, subject, he does maths for grade 7 as well. add that in. Still only got grade 7 in there once. I've got a new teacher though. I've got a new subject. Okay, so if I now go here and I say Bob Crow, I should have got the dynamically added value onto the list as well. So now what I can do is I need to actually start filtering my data. So in this case I only wanted to see Bob Crow down here. So what I now want to do is I want to start using this value that I have captured here. So in this case we want to loop over our data. In this case the data we want to loop over is teachers. Okay, so I want to say in this case var teacher, which is looping to over this, and what I want to check now is I want to say if teacher dot name is actually equal to teacher filter dot value. I want to actually filtered teachers dot push, and I want to push into there my current teacher. So the thing that I want to do here now is I need to define this list here. And that's an empty list. Okay, I'm doing that, and then the thing that I actually want to do here is I need to run through this, and then once I've done, okay, so then I should display, what did I call the function that's displaying my data? So going down here, pushing show data. Okay, so show data. So what I want to do now here is I want to do show data, and I want to pass in my filtered teachers. Okay, and let's see what happens now. So if I do that now, so I need to refresh now, unfortunately. So if I add Bob Crow, subject is maths, and it's for grade 9, I add that in. Okay, and if I now go here and I say Bob Crow, and I say I only want to see Bob Crow. Okay, so now I'm only seeing Bob Crow here, which is great. But look what happened here. Andra actually disappeared from here. Maths, so there's no more history here, and grade 9 is no more grade 7. So that filter was a little bit too aggressive. Okay, so what we actually need to do in this case is show data is currently doing two things here. Show data is taking in the list that it should use for the drop downs, and the list that it, and then it's using that for the drop downs, and then it's actually then displaying the data onto the into the list as well. So what I need to do is whenever for my drop downs I need the full list. Okay, so what I kind of need to do is I need a way that I can actually display my drop downs using all the data available, and display the elements in the table using the filtered data. So it's a bit like I need to change my show data object in this case where I actually have the full list. So what I want to do here is I can actually have a second parameter, which is basically the, so in this case is it the teachers. Okay, so then I'll call it teachers to, I will call it the teacher list in this case. So this is the teachers I actually want to display. So if you think about this in our filtered list, so what I need to do here now is I actually need to say, hey, in this case I need this to be my teacher list down here. So what's going to happen now is sometimes show data is going to be called without teacher list. Okay, so what I need to do here is I basically want to say if teacher list doesn't exist, okay, then what do I want to do? I actually want to say in this case the teacher list should become equal to teacher list should become equal to the data that's been passed in. Okay, so in this case I'm defaulting my teacher list to if I only get one entry entered. So in our case, when we do our filtering now, is I want to still send in the full list. So where is my code that's doing the filtering? So what I'm doing, if I go down here, when I show this, okay, so I want to show the filtered teachers here, but I want to send in all the teachers so that I can still see all the teachers in the drop down. But I only want to display the filtered teachers in the table at the bottom. So let's have a look and see what's happening now if I refresh this. So if I'm going to do this, refreshing my local code, okay, things are still okay here. So now I'm actually saying, so that means my default seems to be working. So I add Bob Crow or Bob Crown, someone else doing maths for grade 8. Okay, add that person. Bob Crown is there, no problem. And then I'm adding Bob, so let's add someone else for now, Joe Blogs. Okay, that's doing geography for grade 9. Okay, add that in. So now I've got 3 entries in the list here. So let's have a look what's happening now. If I say, okay, I want to see Joe Blogs, I filter, I can see Joe Blogs. Okay, if I go back here, wow, okay, so I can still see Andre now. Filter, so I can see filter here, so I can still see everybody in this list. So despite this filtering now, because I'm passing 2 parameters into my display function, one containing all the entries available so that I can populate my drop downs, and the teacher list is like the target that I want to, of the teacher data that I want to display. If I only send this one in, teacher list will be defaulted to data. Okay, so currently we're only filtering on one field here, and the thing that we don't currently support is to, when I select this, to show everything. So currently when I'm doing this, nothing is displayed. So what I need to do in this case is we basically want to say that when that is happening, so because that is, again, that's in our filter function, so that's going to be down here. So we want to say here, if, so here we are checking, so here we're checking that whether this data, whether the teacher name has been selected. So what I want to do here is, so let's just look in our HTML, in our template, what's been done for, you see currently, so basically say if the value defaults to nothing, then it should just display everything. So, so that's grades filter. So up here we have our teacher filter, which is basically here, the value here. So going back to this, so here I just need to add an if statement. If, in this case, teacher filter value, if teacher filter value is equal to blank, okay, in this case what I want to do is I want to say, okay, I want to show the data, and in this case what I want to do is I actually want to call it with one function, because I want to default the second one to this one as well, so then show everything. So when this is happening, I would like to return. Okay, so that means it's not executing any of this code down here. I'm just showing the data and I'm getting out of this function. So let's see what's happening. So if I do Control R, so it's refreshing, and I have Joe Blogs. Joe Blogs is doing history as well, okay, for grade 7. Looking at this, no duplicates. Grade 8, run the code. Okay, history, no duplicates still. So now what I can do is I can see, okay, show me all the things that Joe Blogs does. Okay, there it is. Show me all the things that Andre do. There we go. Show me everything. Let's see. Cool. Okay, so now we have everything. So now we've got basic filtering going. Our drop downs is working. So we can add another subject just for thing here. So filter. Okay, I need to add maths here. Okay, so there's maths for Joe Blogs. So currently our subject filter is obviously not working. So if I click on that, okay, nothing's happening. So that will be the next thing for you to actually do to see, okay, how can you actually now add a filter for maths, and also, okay, how can you actually add a filter on grades? Okay, so thank you very much. Hope you now got a good understanding of how to actually add some filtering using dynamic drop downs. So remember that this code is available online, the starter code. So work your way through the code and then ask questions as you go along. Thank you very much.